Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today on day 7 of Eagles Road to the Draft. And the draft can't get here any slower than it has been. I just want this day to get here. I'm just to a point now where like I want the chips to fall where they do fall, and it's just one of those days, man. Always online every day looking at rumors and get some interesting mock drafts, interesting things that happen throughout the week. Interesting enough, I mean, what I really been hearing most of the time as of right now is sometimes when you hear too much of something, it's always the complete opposite. But, maybe things are going towards that direction. Maybe it looks more realistic going forward. But, we'll see. We'll see. Hold on one second here. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday today. Sunday with no football. Sunday of pure boredom. So I had to do a lot of stuff earlier regarding I had to do some other stuff for to get ready for draft night and stuff like that. So I'm just getting some stuff done. Yeah. We'll be ready to go. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Fisty? What's going on, Truth Be Told? Really fly, Joey. What's good, brother? What's going on, Troll King? Hi, Roseman the GOAT. The real game. What's going on, man? What's going on? John and Don, what's going on, man? No Justin Simmons news. No, I think Justin Simmons is looking to be a post-draft signing. At this point, I don't think he's getting signed before the draft. I don't think he's going to get signed during the draft. It's going to be a post-draft signing. If the Eagles don't hit their guy at safety in this draft, whether it's Bullard, whether it's Kitchens, whether it's, maybe they take a shot at Tyler Nubin in the late first, if that's what they really want to do. I think Justin Simmons will be the main target after the draft. The Eagles really don't hit that position at all, or really don't get a top target in the second round at least. They go further than that down the line of the draft. I don't think it's a possibility. So, we'll see though. But you always list of mock drafts every day. I think as much as Mel Kiper, as much as he's like kind of outdated at this point with some of his stuff. Mel said the first 2 rounds for the Eagles. He said a cornerback in the first round. Makes sense. I get it. But no other than Cooper DeJean. There's no doubt about it. Secondly, he said the second round, Cooper Beebe could be there for the Eagles. Now, you're not getting a top talent at 50-53. Okay, I think somebody will drop the 50-53, but I think they most likely have to be aggressive in the second round. I don't think they're going to trade into the first round. I think there's a lot of value in that second round, especially the early second round. So we'll see. Louis Iyer, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat so much. So what is your top 3 positions for this draft? Also name 1 player for each position in this draft. For the top 3 positions right now for the Eagles' needs, I mean, look, I feel like you have to add a linebacker, Edgar Cooper, in the second round. I want Edgar Cooper in the second round. Whether they get Cooper, whether they get, if they end up getting maybe, where is it? There's 2 things they could. There's 2 things they could do in that second round, which is interesting. Now, if they want to go Trotter Jr., I don't mind it. I don't think it's my favorite pick, but I wouldn't mind it. Edgar and Cooper, I think, would be valuable there. Edge rusher, I would think, or a guy that at least is an off-ball coverage guy to an edge rusher, and Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. I mean, Laiatu Latu's there, but I would probably say Dallas Turner. But you'll have to move, you're going to have to move in the top 13, top 14, I would say. I would at least say you go to 15, 16 where you have a chance. 14, 15, I should say, where you really have a chance. You know, so we'll see. And offensive line is probably a big need right now. It's not an empty hole right now, but I feel like, yeah, if you want to move up for power, you know, John, John, blah, blah, blah. I always Jackson Powers. Sorry, I'm like Johnson Powers, Jackson Powers. I always mess up his name. If if they want to move up, or I don't know if Troy Fontanu from Washington's going to be a trade up, trade back candidate. J.C. Latham in the second round if they want to go that. A guy that can play guard right now, kick out to right tackle if that's what they want to do. There's really anything at this point is definitely, they can use another safety. I think any pick would be vital, whether it's offense or defense. A wide receiver, I mean, you can go down the line if you want a big receiver. You want one of those real, twitchy receivers inside if that's what you want. You want a big guy with speed. I mean, there's just so much they could do. Anything that they do, I'm probably not going to be not a fan. I think I'll be a huge fan of anything they really do in this draft. So, so we'll see. We'll see, dude. Appreciate the super, by the way. Shrek, what's going on, man? Have a great day. You too, man. Hope you're having a good day. Kyle says, Joey, I like the lineman from West Virginia. Who is that? This is why we even have a job every year. His mock drafts. Yeah, that's what he's been doing his whole career. So, but a lot of guys, Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks and some of these other guys, like I always want to listen to what everybody's saying. And most of what everyone really since the combine, I think the most picked position for the Eagles to draft here has been cornerback. But that was really early. That was the combine. We figured by that time Bradbury would have got released or at least extended and then released or cut post June, or I don't know, something of that form. Just because you spread out that dead cap. I mean, he's only a $4 million cap at this year, $10.5 million he's making this year, which is insane, But I feel like they really do like the cornerback room a lot. But Cooper DeJean is a totally different story because he's a weapon for the defense. He is considered a Swiss Army knife weapon for this defense that could play anywhere. Okay, I think they would like to use him in matchups, and that's where he's going to be. So now 25, it could completely change. Next year, completely change because I think you're lose both your starting corners. But this training camp, this offseason, we need to see growth from all of these guys. Isaiah Rodgers come into the mix. Okay, Tyler Hall at the nickel spot, see what he could do. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Keely Ringo is definitely one that, considered to be, maybe could have a chance at that number 2 in the future. You know what I mean? So Eli Ricks, a lot of guys have shown flash. The good thing about last year, as bad as it went, is that a lot of guys that didn't play, or a lot of guys that, don't normally start, got a lot of, started a lot of games last year, had a lot of playing time last year. So guys that necessarily don't get playing time ended up getting a lot of playing time. You had injuries to your secondary last year. I know the coaching was a fucking mess last year. I get it. It was a flawed system. So how can you analyze your roster? As a coaching staff, how do you analyze your roster having the year you had last year? Having the year that you had last year. So it's tough to, when you don't even give these players a chance or put them in a successful position, or at least put them in a more positive position on the field where you're not setting these guys up to be a disaster. I think that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? So we'll see. YFN V2s are still draft a tight end later in the draft. Sure. I don't see why not. I don't think they have a tight end 2 right now. Albert O, you trade for last year. You did nothing with him. Grant Calcaterra is an injury-prone mess. Jack Stahl's gone. You really don't have anybody. You know what I mean? If you're moving, and I said this, I feel like the Eagles are looking to move between I feel like the Eagles are trying to move between the 13 to 16 area. If they do that, potentially they could be and they could have a chance to get Brock Bowers. If that's the case, wouldn't shock me if they do it, because, look, Dallas Goedert's 28 years old right now, and his contract is up, I think, in a couple years. By the time he hits 30, throughout that contract that year, he'll be a free agent after he hits 30. So, you know, he got hurt last year. You never even tried to. You didn't really even give a shit about tight end at all. They barely used anybody, to be honest with you. It's like they completely ignored the position. Even when the season started, even like early last year, like they weren't even targeting Dallas Goedert at all. You know, so what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Kellen Moore loves to use tight ends, though. That's definite. Come on, Yipu. Man, what's going on, dude? So what up, Joe? I've been thinking Devin White is going to be a guy Vic will look for a lot to make those games-changing plays. Yeah, I mean, Devin White, I mean, everybody, I mean, I feel like when it comes to the Eagles fan base, you know, a player comes in, they look at the statistics, and then they shit on the player. I think half of the fan base thought like Devin White was like 30 years old. You know, this guy's 26 in his prime right now. He hasn't lived up to the 4th, 5th overall pick, but he's been wanting out of Tampa Bay the last couple of seasons. You know, he demanded a trade and then he rescinded back and was like, "No, I didn't mean to." You know, he tried to say that he didn't mean to on a trade, and you know, I think he just needs change. He needs new background. The one thing that Devin White, I think he's the most athletic linebacker we have. I think the one thing that Devin White is really good at is going after the quarterback. I think as a shoot the gap type linebacker, I think he's perfectly fine. I think he's really going to transform his career in Philadelphia. I really do. I feel really good about it. Now, it's not like Howie hasn't done nothing to the position because the Eagles didn't sign an all-pro to that position. You know, I'd rather draft one this year. Like, I get it. I'd rather add 3 bodies. You add one in the draft and go that direction. Oh, you know. Oh yeah, Uzomah, CJ Uzomah. I totally forgot, Tanner. The news has been so thin right now. I totally forgot about Uzomah. Yeah, so they got Uzomah right now as, you know, potentially the number 2 tight end. You know, he's 31 years old. You know, I think with the Bengals, I think the last injury he had is with the Bengals. I think the AFC Championship game. I think he had before his injury, he played pretty damn good, and then he had the ACL, LCL injury. And yeah, you know. But it's a 31-year-old tight end coming in for a 1-year deal. It's a Richard Rodgers-esque type signing for the team, you know. So at least they got something. You know, they got something. I don't know what's with the Jets. I guess Howie gets a lot of insight from Joe Douglas, I guess, because it seems like we always get players from the Jets here. You know, so. Says has literally been using a backup running back more than Swift and the starting tight end. Bunch of idiots. Yeah, I get it. I get it, dude. Get it. Devin White whiffed huge on an open lane, and Mahomes in the Super Bowl was scary. He actually played really good in the playoffs. Like the regular season, he didn't. When Tom Brady was there, he didn't do much of anything during the regular season. He wasn't as productive, but when he got to the playoffs, he was really good. He was really good. I don't base off a player off of a whiff tackle or one bad thing. Like, yeah, well, look at our defense last year. I guess everybody's that bad because everybody whiffed tackles last year, right? Everybody did. You could dog on Devin White for a whiff tackle in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying anything towards you or anything, but I'm just saying in general, like, you know, look at our fucking defense last year. We missed tackles left and right, you know? Tanner says, Joe, you're a casual. JK, you're a good man. For shit. Oh, no, I forget shit all the time. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes I'll forget what I ate for breakfast. Joe, if the Eagles brought in Kool-Aid top 30, just late, he's on the draft board. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just due diligence. I don't think it's. I think they're interested, but I just think it's due diligence at this point. I think they're just bringing in guys that they just want to feel out, I guess. You know, like, I don't know. For me, like, Kool-Aid's not playing on the inside. To me, it makes no sense. It just doesn't. They're not getting rid of Bradbury. They're not getting rid of Slay. It's just where does he fit in? You're not redshirting him. You're not saving him for 25. So, you know what I mean? Like, you always have to look at these pre-draft visits and say, okay, there's something promising here. But I think there's due diligent type of visits for the Eagles. I think that's totally there. So we'll see. Like I said, like there might be a guy that they really do like that they don't bring in, and it's happened before, on purpose, just to not gain too much smoke, to gain too much smoke from it, and make other teams think they brought in 9 to 10 offensive linemen already on pre-draft visits. I mean 10? I think it's 9. I mean it's a lot. I mean it makes it pretty damn obvious, but there's a lot of offensive linemen between the first, at least two are graded in obviously the first round, and there's a lot that you can get on the second day. So I don't think it's too much of a smoke screen, but we'll see. I think offensive line could be the smoke screen that teams are believing the Eagles will go there, but we'll see though. We got J62 Moon. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. So what up, Joey? Only 11 days till the draft. I can't wait to see what Howie does. I'm thinking O-line, but I'm hoping for a surprise treat on defense in the first. Yeah, I mean, in my heart, and I said this a couple days ago on the last stream, in my heart, I feel like it will be defense. It could be defense. It could be edge rusher. And I'm telling you, like, if they feel like Reddick's not a big loss, and I can see why, because consistently Reddick doesn't play well. It's weird. Consistently every year, statistics yearly, they're good. But when it comes to consistent games, there's games where he doesn't do anything. There's games where, he's just a decoy on the edge that gets a little bit of pressure, and that's it. And sometimes, obviously pressure is good. Sack number's not the most important thing. But there are, Reddick is really streaky. There are months where Reddick will get no sacks, and then the next month he'll get 7 sacks. That's just how he is. That's how he plays. And the Eagles feel like if he has no value in pass coverage, okay, he's got no pass breakups. I mean, you're reacting as if, Reddick is in coverage getting pass breakups all the damn time, and he's not. Okay, that's just the truth. But when you have a guy like Dallas Turner, Leatu Latu, guys that have experience, that could play edge and be in that coverage is great. The problem is even Nolan Smith, I don't even think Nolan Smith should even be an edge rusher at this point. Nolan Smith should probably be an outside linebacker, and purely that in general as of right now. That's where they should keep him. I think that's where he's going to benefit. I think Nolan Smith is going to benefit. Getting rid of Reddick and gambling on Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith is a big gamble. Now, Bryce Huff is going to be a good player. Who knows? Bryce Huff might get us 10 sacks this year. You know what I mean? We don't know this, but he's only had 43% of the snaps last year. He was in a heavy rotation last year. So, it's a big gamble. Well, we don't know the specifics behind the scenes. We don't know the behind the scenes of what actually happened with everything going on. So we'll see. Appreciate the super, Jay. Very much. Mr. Joy, I get what you're saying about drafting a lineman to help solidify our offense line, but our Super Bowl window is still open and need plug and play difference first. Well, but dude, that is a plug and play difference. It is. Offensive line is a difference maker, dude. Why do you think we've had a good running game for years? I mean, why do you think, you have one, look what happened to Kansas City, 2 Super Bowls ago, okay? When he lost, when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, right? Remember they lost, one offensive lineman in that game, and they fucking fell apart, dude. They fell apart. You gotta look at it in that direction as well. But I think they have, I don't know what they see in Matt Hennessy. I don't know what they see in Tyler Steen as of right now. Tyler Steen is still he's a baby right now. He's still very raw right now. You know what I mean? So if Juergens is going to center, potentially, yeah, me personally, I have no issue drafting offensive line in the first round. I have no issue at all because all you need is an average to above average defense in this league. Okay, your scheme, you don't need to have an all-pro at every position. You can have good role players. You can have guys that just know the system really well and are good communicators and are stud players in a role-playing scheme. Okay? you're not going to get both in 1 year. I don't think you could. I mean, potentially, who knows? The Eagles' defense might be one of the best defenses this year. I don't know, but they need to get points on the fucking board. It's an offensive league. You got to score points. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not looking for ugly wins this year. 1 or 2, fine, but the whole fucking season, that's what it's going to be? No way. You didn't have one dominating game because of coaching, and it's just crazy. You have 2 1,000-yard receivers, second year in a row, 1,000-yard running back, second season in a row, and you still just can't dominate a game. It shows you where Nick Sirianni is, and how he really just let this team down last year. Skyvik says, unless a stud edge or O-lineman fall, we definitely go in cornerback first. Yeah, I get it. I think that's perfectly said. Perfectly said. If an edge guy falls, the Eagles will move up. O-lineman falls, Eagles move up. And then, if a cornerback, someone's going to drop. There's no doubt. The Eagles can get one of the cornerbacks. There's no doubt. I think somebody at 22, I think the Eagles will have somebody on the board there. I'm not questioning they won't have anybody on the board. I think somebody will be there, whether it's Taron Arnold or Kool-Aid McKinstry or Nate Wiggins. I think someone's going to drop. Somebody will be there. But to me, those corners make no sense because of how the roster is fortified this year, this offseason. When you have Slay and Bradbury already there, your nickel spot right now is kind of open. Even bringing Maddox back, it's still open. Tyler Hall's there. Isaiah Rodgers coming to the mix. Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, Zach McPherson coming off of an ACL. Like, there's just, for me right now, like, it just makes no sense. Cooper DeJean, you have to look at it. Cooper DeJean was an early pre-draft visit for the Eagles. He was the first or the second player? What was he, like the second player? I mean, that shows, like, the early pre-draft visits are the most important ones. And I think DeJean not only is not your bona fide outside corner, but this guy is a weapon for your defense. This guy can play multiple positions. Okay? He came out of high school as a big star recruit as a safety. Okay? So I know Eagle fans have been talking about him moving the safety or moving him there if they have to. The more hybrid players you have on this defense, the better it's going to be. This way, if you have an injury, you can move players around and you won't lose a beat with your defense during these games. Okay? Cooper DeJean played quarterback, DB, and he played safety in high school. So he's one of those guys that's just a great move-around type player. Okay, which he could bandage up a certain position that's injured. Chauncey could move around. If they get Justin Simmons, he can move around. Sidney Brown, he can move around. Having players like that is a huge value for Vic Fangio's defense. We'll see. Maris says Kool-Aid does fit the scheme, though, and have been doing more research on him. He had played some slot, I think, in the league. He's going to be an outside cornerback, but creative coach would try him in the slot. Yeah, I've read that he's played inside corner very, very little. Very little. And how much do they take a lot? They bring him for a pre-draft visit, so they want to maybe get more information from him. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's the direction they go. I understand they brought him in, but I don't think it necessarily means they're going to draft him. I think it's with any player, really. But we'll see. We'll see. What's going on, Donnie? Sue, what's going on, man? Daquan says Kool-Aid would be nice. I said maybe the Eagles here trading a 25 pick to move back up in the second. They could. That's what they want to do. I mean, you already got 2 second-round picks. I mean, for me, I feel like there's too much value in the second to even trade back. I don't even care if they don't even have a third-round pick at this point. I mean, you could potentially get 3 bona fide starters. If they could try to move up in the third some other way, they could. We'll see. Go on, Donald. Kuna Matas, I think we're underrated. The loss of Cox. No way you go with Davis, Carter, and Williams as your starting tackles in the 3-4. I think first pick is Murphy or Latu. Interesting. To be honest, I'll be kind of shocked if they get a defensive tackle 3rd year straight. I mean, I'll be kind of surprised at that. Donnie said we could get DeJean, Jackson Powers, Johnson, and Cooper Beebe. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't know if they get DeJean and Jackson Powers. DeJean from his pro day already off the broken fibula. I think he's well into the first round now. He could drop. If he drops to the second, then great. Then there's more of a chance to get Jackson Powers and get Cooper DeJean if that's what you want to do. But we'll see. Dude, guys, to be honest, if we have Steen start right guard, if he wins the spot, see our O-line is still top 5 O-line, I think he should bolster our defense with the very least top 3 picks off. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. Like, Tyler Steen played in 2 games this past year. Did he play fantastic? No. Did he play okay? Sure. He was solid. He was all right, you know. I think the first game, I think it was against the Jets, he had some issues. I think he blocked the wrong guy a couple of times. I think there was just a missed assignment a couple of times. So, you know, these things just happen. I don't know how the Eagles feel. I don't know how the Eagles think of the position. Okay, I don't know. They obviously need to add more depth. I don't know what they think of the position when it comes to, is Tyler Steen ready? Are they thinking that Tyler Steen is ready after going to this year to start at right guard? You know, so you know we'll see. Well, New Year's sorry, when did they win? They never did. They never won. I mean, they never did. They never had a dominant game this year. And teams figured us out. I mean, really, to beat the Eagles, all you had to do to beat the Eagles' offense, to beat Jalen Hurts, is a cover 0 blitz. That's all you had to do. Because the Eagles never, you know, when a defense adjusts to your offense, you have to adjust back, and that's what they didn't do that all year. Because Nick is just not a good play caller. And yes, Brian Johnson holds the playbook, but I think we're not stupid guys. Like, I see people on Twitter all the time saying, "Oh, Brian Johnson didn't call the plays well." I'm just sitting here like, dude, like, this was Nick's game plan. Brian Johnson was a scapegoat. This was Nick's game plan. Terrence, if you think about it, the first Eagles haven't had a dominant since the 2022 NFC Championship. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. Chris Scott says, O-line is super important, especially in the second round. How he hits on later O-line picks. I know 100% we're not taking it off the tackle in the first round. The only we'll take in the first is, yeah, no, I think I agree with the opinion. Like, I feel like, yeah, you could be right. Offensive line could be a smokescreen in the first round. It could be. In the second, I don't think so. But you know, we'll see, you know. Yo, Chris, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. Member for 7 months. This is last year's collapse. Oh, I like Chip Kelly. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about that when it happened. Like, you choked the first seed, you choked the second seed, you choked the division. I mean, people were saying, you know, that we were saving our plays for the playoffs. I mean, like, people were coming up with some crazy shit. I was like, dude, I can't believe any of that. There's no way that you lose on purpose, or you playing like this way on purpose to save your plays. I mean, I think that's a really stupid, you know. There says the Brian Johnson theory is just a theory again. Nobody knows. You know what? Brian Johnson was next to Shane Steichen all year in 22. And you're telling me that not one play that was brought... I mean, that playbook was not even... We saw nothing from Shane Steichen's offense at all in this scheme last year. I mean, nothing. I mean, really nothing. It reminded me of 21. I swear to God, the play calling was literally 2021 before Nick turned over the play calling to Shane Steichen. In a nutshell. So it's really starting to like Cooper B for right guard in the second. He's a bulldozer in the run game. Yeah, I mean, as a left guard, I mean, he came in. I mean, a first team All Pro player in college. I mean, play left guard, left tackle, left guard, right guard. Mauler, 6'6", 322. I mean, he's a beast, dude. Oh, beast. There was every Eagles fan, including you, me, in the stream, come up with crazy shit. Well, yeah, I mean, that's all we could fucking do. I mean, you're going through loss after loss after loss. I mean, you know, I said after the 49ers loss to the Cowboys loss, if we lose against the Cowboys, I'm going to turn to an Eagles fan no one's going to like, because I'm going to be very, not depressing on purpose or not negative on purpose, but realistic, because these guys have a playoff game and they're not even looking like they care. If the coaching fails, the players are going to fail. Players fail, it's done. It's over. It was over. There was no coming back from it. Are you good, John? It was all Nick. And says Nick was more involved in the play. Yeah. Dave Spadaro was taking questions from Eagle fans during the season and answering them. And somebody asked, you know, what's the percentage of Nick's involvement, control in this offense? Does he have a big hand in play calling? And Dave was like, oh, 100%. This is Nick's game plan. The coordinators piggyback off of the head coach. I mean, the hiring of Sean Desai was literally like, let's see, who's the guy that's been closest to Vic Fangio that can run this scheme? Sean Desai, because Sean Desai was a quality control guy under Vic Fangio for a few years, worked right under him as his apprentice, and then became the defensive coordinator in 21 for the Bears. They literally just hired the guy closest to Fangio. They didn't. This defense, if this shit fails this year with this fucking 3-4 scheme, this multiple front bullshit scheme that we're doing, this off-ball scheme that we're doing, I'm telling you right now, if this defense flops this year, totally flops with no promise, bye Nick, bye Fangio, start over again. Kellen Moore is the only bright side right now, because I know Nick, and I'm hoping to God not, and Kellen Moore has never had control taken away from him when it came to play calling ever in his career as a coordinator. Okay? I think Kellen Moore is set up to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. As much as, and yeah, I don't like Kellen Moore as a head coach. The only reason why I don't, because he's a very, he's not a rah-rah type coach. He's very to himself, and he's an X's and O's type guy. That's it. No. Chris, I think our second round picks will be Cooper, Beebe, and Edgar and Cooper. And Cooper DeJean. Cooper draft. That's all the rumors. Nobody has that 100. Stop the slippery slope. It's Dave Spadero's. Come on. To flat out say that he has 100, that he said he had 100% control, and quote unquote he said he had 100% control. This is Nick's game plan. That's when Dave says it's Nick's game plan, that shows a lot. Okay, if he said, well, Nick has some involvement, everybody has, everyone puts their thoughts into the offensive play, the offensive game plan every single week, but if he said that, that's fine. But when Dave said it was Nick's game plan, not good. And if it was going that bad, seriously, why didn't it change over time? So to me, if somebody says it within the Eagles organization, it's not that much rumors. It's not much rumors. It's not fan speculated. It's not Joe fucking Schmo from the gas station down the street saying it. It's somebody that is within the organization that is there every fucking game on game day. So that's the way it goes. As Howie said, it's my team again. I'm picking all the positional coaches this year. Yeah, Nick had no authority in hiring his coordinators, assistant coaching staff, none of it. None of it. I think Kellen Moore has had control. Fangio is 100% have control over who he's hired, coaching staff wise. And what they have hired this year that's different from other years is they have hired experienced coaches. Experience. Years of experience. That's the difference going into this season than many others. Mark, what's going on, man? Say, hey, Joey, please tell the draft, hurry up. Waiting for the unexpected to happen. Trade up or get a starter in a position we really need to help with O-lineman, cornerback, safety, and linebacker. Yeah. I need this thing to get here as fast as possible. We're almost there, guys. It's the 14th right now. We got till the 25th. We got a week and a half left, and we are there. Little RBG said 100% control over game plan, not play calling. Oh, we picking words out of statements. I love you guys, but let's be positive, talk towards the future. But that sets up what Brian Johnson does. So not only does Nick set up Brian Johnson to fail on game day, you're setting up your players to fail on game day. It's the same shit. That's even worse. That's even worse. It doesn't even matter. It's worse. And yeah, it's there's nothing. Look, at the end of the day, it's being positive, but dude, like, it's positivity, but dude, like, that shit last year can't happen again. That can't happen again. Like, that was so fucking, that's in the history books, bro. That's one of the biggest Eagles collapses I have ever seen. And I don't know if it's the worst one. With a good roster, and that's what you put out as your final product all year. We're not even talking about the last 7 games. The whole season was building up to that. It was building up to that moment. Chris says the players gave up on Nick's game plan offense. Yeah, 100%, Chris. 100%. We have to talk about that. We're not talking about the Super Bowl. We're not talking about 22. We're talking about last year. Last year's last year. Last year is fine to talk about because last year was last year. Okay? Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles, like, got to the playoffs and they lost, okay, whatever. Well, they did. But I'm saying, like, if they made the NFC Championship game and they lost, and they played well all year, I wouldn't really give a shit too much. You know, it could be we lost the game because of one throw, one run, a fumble, a penalty, whatever. You know, I get it. But this is a whole year of... This is on Nick Sirianni at the end of the day. This is on the owner because they just let Nick dig his own grave pretty much. Sink or swim, Nick. That's what they said to him all year. Hold on, John. I'm not a fan of Nick Sirianni. Like, he really has to win that trust with me again because there's 2 sides to your head coach you have to see. The one side of your head coach, you need to see, like, when the guys are winning, can he keep the team uplifted? Which he can. But when the team starts losing the way they did, what is Nick going to do? He did nothing. It didn't make me feel satisfied when he stayed in Philadelphia. The ultimatum to Nick Sirianni from Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman was like, oh, if you don't fire your coordinators, you're fired. This is the same ultimatum that Doug Pearson was given, okay? Doug wanted to hire from within his coaching staff, okay? That was the rumor, okay? Doug wanted to hire within his coaching staff. He didn't want to hire any new blood outside the organization. The Eagles, Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie wanted him to hire outside. He said, nope, you know what, screw you guys. I can take off the whole year. I'll get a job next year. I'm not worried about it. And that's pretty much it. That's what happened. And I can guarantee you 100% that's what happened. So, you know what I mean? Like, Nick was like, sure. And Nick is going to be a hands-off motivational speaker. And that's fine because that's all Nick should be. Okay? Nick, I know Nick could gather this team, but the play calling has got to be good with it. It's got to be both ways. You know, that's all I got to say about it. Chris says that loss Seattle was a season killer, giving up a 90-yard. Yeah, I mean, look. you switch your defensive coordinators mid-year, and so many players were so effective. As much as the practices were horrible, and we were playing. When you practice soft, you play soft. From Deshaun Desai and Matt Patricia, you're giving up. At least you're only giving up with Desai. You're only giving up 21, 22 points a game. With Patricia, you're giving up 28 plus points a game. And that Seattle game, the two things that really pissed me off in that game. Okay, you literally on second and short, third and short, when you could have put Seattle away. Or no, it was at the end of the game. Sorry, I'm thinking about a million games. It was at the end of the game. You throw oh man. You throw a ball to A.J. Brown. You threw a ball for a PI call as your actual play. Because remember, someone asked Jalen Hurts about that play to A.J. Brown, that underthrown ball. He underthrown A.J. Brown on purpose for a PI. Like, they didn't even try to even make a play. They literally were just trying to guarantee that one play off of a penalty. It was absolutely disastrous. And then to make shit worse for Matt Patricia, he fucking puts Bradbury against JSN, man-to-man coverage on an island, all by himself. Bradbury is not a man-to-man corner. Man-to-man, open space, JSN, he gets burnt, and they win the game. Like fucking Vietnam, dude. It's like I'm waking up from a fucking war story. I gotta think about this shit. It pissed me off so much. Says, I'm so confused on Nick's role on this team. Like, I'm just curious on what he will do in the song. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with a hands-off coach. Like Dan Campbell, with the Lions, he's hands-off. He doesn't do nothing. What does he do? Nothing. There's hands-on, there's hands-off. Hands-off coaches are fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, he doesn't he's tried doing everything, and he can't do everything. So that's where we're at. I hope Nick gets phased out and someone takes over head coach. If he tries to change things up that is working halfway through the season, I'm gonna be pissed off. Yeah, true that, dude. If the Eagles go down this little bit of a slope this season, or they lose, like if they're like 2-4 beginning of the season, I mean, we're gonna, as soon as you see that one bubble screen, you see that Jalen Hurts is gonna run with the ball fucking 10 times a game and get himself hurt, because the one thing we lost last year that was huge for this offense. We lost Jalen Hurts' legs because he got hurt so much. He got hit so much early in the season. These mobile quarterbacks don't last long. But when you have a mobile quarterback and you build that offense, you build your offensive line, and you're running Jalen Hurts like 10 times a game. Yeah, losing that affected a dimension to our offense. There's no doubt. I give Jalen Hurts credit because he tried, and there were times where he ran. He did well later in the season, but he was hurt all year with that knee. He had an issue with that knee all year. Michael Meehan says, let's remember when Nick first got us to Philly, our team was shit. He did get us to play off in the Super Bowl. I understand that last year was a disaster, but everyone has to get off Nick's back. Dude, it's one of those things where this isn't a playoff loss. This is like a collapse last year. This isn't a playoff loss and we had a good year. This is a fucking collapse. When we lost the Super Bowl, did I want Nick fired? No, I didn't. But this is more than just, this is Nick being asinine. This is Nick being, it's just to a point now where Nick has to let go of that ego a little bit and let the coaches coach. And the hiring process has to stay out of his hands. And it has. And I think we're past last year. I think we're going in a good direction. I'm fucking hoping so. I don't care what the guy did. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. He got us to here. He got us to there. I don't care about a few years ago anymore. I don't care if it's a couple years ago. I don't care about it. When Steichen left, nothing was kept in-house. Nothing should change this dramatically with the fucking pristine roster that you have, especially offensively. You're just wasting these players' fucking years away with shit like this. It's just crazy, dude. It's crazy. Felix and Nick is just being the coach, and OC will call the plays. DC will. That's what I'm hoping. That's the actual plan in my head right now through all of us, probably. That's what we're hoping. Well, I mean, it's just how many drops did AJ have times when he could have scored D. Smith in big drops to when we could have put us in range to score as well, but everyone has to talk the shit about Nick. Michael Mann says Hurts was hurt all season. Oh, Hurts was hurt, but he wasn't that hurt. Like, he was hurt. He just lost a little bit of his speed. But you're telling me right now that play call, that the players had drops over players dropping balls had more concern over the play calling all season? You're telling me that the drops were the main reason and Nick was the least of the worry of the situation? Come on now, open your eyes. I could deal with some opinions, but that is just, no. I respect it, but there's no fucking way I'm going to say, oh, I blame the season on drops. Yeah, I mean, A.J. Brown, I mean, how much more do they have to fucking do all year? How much more does... the last thing I want to hear is Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown were the main fucking reasons. 2 1,000-yard seasons for both players. A.J. Brown fucking gets... How much more do you want him to give you? He gave you 125-plus yards, 7 straight games, breaking Calvin Johnson's consistent record. I mean, no, you know how hard it is to do that every game? We have because of coaching, we have no productivity at fucking wide receiver 3. No productivity at other positions. Like, I mean, you're not running the ball enough. Your linebackers don't play down. I mean, seriously, the last thing I want to fucking hear is A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith because of drops. I mean, that's fucking crazy. That's all I'm saying. I respect the opinion, but that's all I'm saying. Like, trust me, like I've had guys come into the stream saying that Jalen Hurts was the main issue. And like I haven't even like talked about Jalen Hurts this whole offseason because he's the least of my worries. Simple as that. It's not fair that the guy has to deal with a different coordinator every fucking year. Since college and till now. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. Consistently, he's not with somebody every single year that at least puts him on the right path, gets him better. I mean, the players can only do so much. The route combinations, you're not working the middle of the field. No hot routes, no crossers, no nothing. No nothing. I'm gonna be, guys, I'm telling you right now, like this year, I'm gonna be so fucking demanding, it's not even funny. I'm gonna be an asshole this year when things don't go our way. And you know what? Should be that way. Nick said, I just prayed Nick learned from last year. I think Nick got a reality check. I'm hoping he did. There says, Joe, I'm going to send you videos. I got videos on Kellen Moore, bro. He's creative of his skins, bro. I'm going to show you later. I'm trying to find that video of him in the Dallas when he was working on matchups and stuff. There was videos that were out. I can't find them. They're gone. Appreciate it, Mayor. So worst collapse in NFL history. We were the first team to start 10-1 and not win 12 games. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Dominic Manini, what's going on, man? So to me, good or bad season, Nick gets fired either way because if we have a good season, you know that Nick isn't the reason. But to that, Kellen Moore is, and you can let another great OC go. No, I completely agree. That's a really good statement. if the Eagles win a Super Bowl this year, are really successful this year, at least, okay, it's not because of Nick. I think a small percentage maybe he involved, maybe to a certain extent. But Kellen Moore is going to be the reason why this offense is what it is. This is going to be the best offense that Kellen Moore has ever coached. I think when it comes to a roster standpoint, this is the best. I mean, seriously. I mean, Keenan Allen's coming off his best year of his career at 31? What, 31 years old? 32? Seriously. Hogan said Nick should be gone for wasting Chase Kelsey's and Fletcher Cox's last year. Yeah, that pissed me off probably the most out of anything. That's why I was more upset when Kelsey. I get it. Kelsey's banged up. His body's not what it used to be. I get it. Like, as a personal standpoint, I get it. It pissed me off that Kelsey retired just because, man, he's got to retire off of that fucking disgraceful year that we had. You get Saquon Barkley, and, man, would it be nice to have Kelsey back with Barkley in the backfield? It just sucks, dude. But it's still going to be a good offensive line. It just sucks that he's not going to be around. Not sure, bro. I just want to have some running back runs to set up the throw. What do you think, Joe? I mean, we have had great running backs since Miles Sanders. Well, dude, like, but you know, a lot of these running backs are products. But like, you have a home run hitter with Saquon Barkley. You actually have a 3-down back that can outrun a defense and can hit the home run. Every single play. It could happen at any moment. Okay? Like, yeah, I mean, Miles Sanders, I thought pass blocking was great. You know, picking up those blitzes. He was the best running back that we've had that has done it. Okay? But we've made average runners look like, you know, and Miles is a good player. Like, I never really had anything about Miles. I think he started to dance a little bit. You know, his injuries were a concern. You know, and then now he's a backup running back. Every running back that leaves Philadelphia that's how good this offensive line is. This is why we have to thank Howie Roseman for what he does with this offensive line. Josh Adams, average, but produce with us. Not much, but produce with us when he had his shot at times. Wendell Smallwood. I thought that Wendell Smallwood got better every single year. Okay, he got better every single year. But Wendell Smallwood, unfortunately, he's just another guy that went to another team. Didn't even make it as a running back. Played special teams with Washington. I don't even know where. He's in Pittsburgh now. I mean, every running back that leaves Philadelphia, besides Swift, we know had the talent. And the problem is you get up a 20, you know, how he was signed first 10 minutes of the fucking offseason. I don't even know how he was signed by the Bears that quick. Okay. We're getting Miles Sanders got a contract because of his offensive line. Simple as that. Swift, we just didn't use enough. Unfortunately, Kellen Moore is going to use these running backs in the passing game, which I'm really excited for. And then Barkley is going to be great in that matter because he does it so well. As long as those passes are on stride, you're going to be looking real good. No. They had games that they could have lost and spent all year trying to find their groove. Yeah, like they're still trying to figure themselves out. Like they had no identity all year. But you're looking at the defense had to bail out the offense. The offense had to bail out the whole entire team nonstop all year. To be honest, guys, we got lucky in a lot of games. The Kansas City game we should have lost. You know? A lot of games should have went the other way. And, you know, I understand, like, you know, lucky is lucky. I get it, but we should have lost. There was a few games we should have fucking lost. You know, that wide open pass, the Kansas City game, that wide open pass in the end zone that was fucking completely dropped. How many rain games do we have this year? We played in bad weather all year, which was great because it was great because not only were we winning close games, but we were winning in bad weather, which was pretty good. Like, you know, you play in bad weather. If you can play in bad weather, that's great. You're a great team that way. But man, Matchy X3 says still yapping. Super chat. Thank you so much. Still yapping about Nick. You didn't just hire Kellen Moore. You'll find out about him soon enough. You went from Scott Linehan to Kellen Moore, okay? The same problem is in Dallas right now. That is still your fucking quarterback. I don't take that as an offense because he does good with offenses, dude. Simple as that. I don't. Kellen Moore. The only thing Kellen Moore hasn't won a Super Bowl. Yeah, obviously a lot of coordinators have it. I totally get that, 100%. But Dak Prescott, man, has done nothing in 8-9 years. I mean, seriously, they've switched head coaches, they've switched coordinators a few times, and the same problem is in Dallas. The Eagles will be better than the Cowboys 100% this year. There's no doubt about it. Cowboys have no chance. The Cowboys did nothing this offseason to get better. The Cowboys, even with a good draft, still won't make a difference. It's not enough. That's like, yes, I feel like Kellen Moore got cocky in some of those Cowboy playoff games where he was too pass happy at moments. I get that. But the writing's on the wall with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. That's going to be a free agent after this year. So that's where they're at. So, I mean, it's crazy, dude. I know in that guy's feelings right now. I know in his feelings right now. He knows the truth. He just thinks he's hurting everybody's feelings here that we downgraded and got Kellen Moore, but we didn't downgrade at all. Thanks for the $5. I mean, appreciate it. But of course, this common tackling alone last year would have migrated 30% of our week. Yeah, that's true. Tackling was atrocious. I mean, that's pretty bad. I said Kellen Moore didn't throw those interceptions. Kellen Moore didn't make Zeke a center. All right, so it's funny how Cowboys never mention their QB. It's always somebody else. Was gonna mention it? Did you see the Green Bay game? Let me guess. You think it was? Dude, after that pick six he threw, it was over. It was done. Seriously, dude. Against what, a 6-7 seed? What happens, man? It's their time. Like the Hendricks says Cowboys downfall coming in 25. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's already happening. They've had an open window to do things. They've had a great defense, which they're probably not. Mike Zimmer, yeah. Don't think so. They're about to find out. We're about to find out about Kellen Moore. They're about to find out about Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer's defenses. As much as Vic Fangio's defense is outdated, Mike Zimmer's defense is outdated too. Even though they're more a physical defense, he's still an outdated coach. Still an outdated coach. Rock is an upgrade from BJ. Then it said he mad Dallas all is on getting Prime Junior next year. Yeah, that's what the rumor is right now. Average Cowboys fans thinking money can make their problems go away. I mean, look, they freed up after the first week of free agency. They freed up what, $13 million the first week. It was like after the 7th day they freed up money. And then, like, I remember I streamed and there was a bunch that came in. They were like, "Oh, big moves coming." I'm like, dude, it's already past a week. If you don't make any moves the first week of free agency, they had Derrick Henry in their fucking pockets, dude. Derrick Henry wanted to go to Dallas so bad, and literally, like, he was literally like waiting for the fucking call, and they showed no interest in bringing him. Now Zeke's gonna go back to Dallas now. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. Marcia, I believe that Uncle Jerry is trying to run Dak out of town. He's making Dak the reason for the cap hell who gave him the contract. Jerry. Yeah, I mean, Dak is going to be the scapegoat. I mean, Dak is the blame, no doubt, but that front office is the full blame. I mean, until the Jones family, like, they sell the team, that team is going to be the way it is for years, unfortunately. Sorry, but Jerry Jones is everything. He's the CEO, he's the owner, he's everything. He's offensive quality control, defensive quality control. He's everything. And that's the problem. You got to give that power to other people. It's too much for one man to have. Especially at fucking 150 years old. You know, in his fucking time. So I think the Giants did the Giants get better? I don't know. You know, Drew Lock. I mean, they're still, that's another team that's still like, that just, like, I think, like, when the Giants got their new coaching staff a few years ago, I was like, oh man, like, you know, not Kellen Moore, you know, Brian DeBoll and something, you know, I like their defensive coordinator, like they're another team that's just like, man, like, they're bad quarterback signing. It's just a mess, dude. No number one receiver. They never fixed their their offensive line has been a mess for years. You still haven't fixed it. Oh, let's go into free agency and get players. Like, that's all they could do. It's easy for teams to straight up build a position. Howie Roseman knows how to build a fucking position. He knows how to build he builds the trenches. Bad contracts. I mean, the Giants are a fucking another mess. Like, if they actually had a quarterback this year, like, if they actually already had a quarterback that was good, they could go into the draft finally and get a number one wide receiver this year. But they can't. Maybe they will. Drew Lock is only playing with the Giants because he's going to start. Drew Lock doesn't give a shit where he's going. He needs to take the money where he's getting it whenever he can get it. I don't blame him at all. You know? Everybody else says, I hope the Eagles get this shit together, defense, and then play the 49. I want to get some fucking payback, dude. I want to get some fucking payback. But we're in the stream right now. 162 in the chat. Thank you so much for joining up. We went from the draft to all this other BS. So I mean, I don't care. We can talk about anything. It don't matter to me. 162 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream if you guys haven't. Thank you so much for joining up today. So just to let you guys know, so we'll have another stream tomorrow. I'm not ending the stream right now. We're gonna go for a little bit longer, but me and Philly 500 will be streaming the draft April 25th. We'll be streaming all 3 days, all day. We have a little surprise for you guys before the draft too. So a week before, or at least at the end of this week, we'll have a little bit of a surprise stream. I'm hoping things get done soon. I don't know what's going on right now, but it's looking in the right direction. So we'll be streaming all 3 days. And we're not spoiling the draft picks, because on Twitter you could get everything spoiled. The pick, you can see the pick before it happens. So if you don't want to get spoiled, it's with the naked eye. You want to turn the chat off and just listen to us. That's what we're going to do on draft. So that's where we're at. So you guys could join up. That'd be awesome. Support both channels. Do your thing. You know. Even says Sirianni needs to stay for Drew add more offensive play calling. Chris says Dak will be the UFL soon. Imagine. Higgins staying with the Bengals. Oh, damn, they didn't trade him, huh? I thought he wanted a trade. I thought he wanted out. The last thing I heard was like a few days ago is that there hasn't been any the most exciting player on this roster I'm excited about going into this year is right here. Okay? The obvious one. Well, not obvious. Maybe some people will be like, oh, really? I don't know. Isaiah Rodgers is like making... I'm telling you, like... Let me show you this. You guys are priorities. I'm going to show it anyway. I'm just like that. If I could find it without... My eyes are bad. Isaiah Rodgers puts up a tweet today. Just please don't let this 1 year fool you. I'm still me. Trust me. Roger, I'm telling you, they think. Jeffrey Lurie even said it at the breakfast, whatever, the press conference he had. He even said that Isaiah Rodgers is a big part of their plans. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers, the only bad thing about Isaiah Rodgers right now is he hasn't played in a year because of the gambling stuff. Like, I'm pumped. Like, I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait for Isaiah Rodgers. Pumped for it. Kick returner, outside corner, could play inside if he wants. That's what they're going to do with him. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm in. Yeah, I mean, Donnie, I agree. Isaiah Rodgers letting that fire. Yeah, he's been like, because people been writing him off, dude. Like, people been writing Isaiah Rodgers off. Like, he's gonna turn up, dude. He's gonna fucking turn up. Chris for the Super Chat, thank you so much, man. Say we make a Super Bowl this season, do we get rid of Nick or keep more? Well, I think they keep all. If they win a Super Bowl this year, they're keeping both guys. They're keeping both. They're not gonna separate it. I don't know. I think they can block more from getting interviews anyway if he gets a head coaching job. I think more can be blocked after his first year. That's the only good thing about it. I think they can block more from having any interviews for a head coaching job. So they could keep everything the same as is. Appreciate the super chat, Chris, very much. Very much. David says, what do you think Jets want for 10? We should get a discount after a Reddick scalping. They don't even have to move up to 10, dude. They really don't even have to move up that far. Like, I think it's too much of a stretch to give up a lot of compensation. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but honestly, that's a big trade up. That's a huge trade. From 22 to 10 is huge. 22 to 15, 16 is probably where I would go. Probably the safe bet. So we'll see. Mark says, Washington got rid of Snyder. They will get better, so watch that. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, look, they had a lot of money. Look, when you have all that money, like the Titans, Washington, you could do whatever you want. Chicago, you could do whatever you want. You could sign whoever you want. Yeah, the Eagles could get rid of everybody and have $90-something million in cap space and just sign who they want. It's very easy. But building your team through free agency, yeah, you don't want to do that. But if you get cost-effective guys, that works out. Like, I think Washington made 19 moves. So it's going to take them a couple years. I don't think this year is going to be the year, but I think they're already better. On a piece of paper, they're better right now. Donnie says, Joe, you streaming early draft day? Yeah, so me and Philly are probably going to stream together. Yeah, we're gonna stream a little early. We're going to stream probably an hour, 40. Last year, I think we streamed 45 minutes early. Something like that. About 45 minutes early into the first round. So, yeah, we'll be streaming early. Is it next Thursday? Oh. Yeah, technically next Thursday. Yeah, week and a half, yeah. Yeah. I think Philly would be a good spot for Chop Robinson, considering they rotate defensive line. Robinson, I'm tired of hearing his fucking name, too. As much as the Pat Surtain name is almost being like Chop Robinson now. I don't know, man. 4 sacks last year, a monster combine. I don't even think he had 20 tackles last year. I don't know, dude. I mean, I think he got injured too, but that's even worse. Like, why? Why do I even want to? I don't know. Chop at 22 is probably good. I think that's a good pick at 22. I think he's a total reach moving up. So the Rodgers will get a lot of snaps during preseason just to get back to the flow. Oh, yeah, dude. He's going to show up, dude. East of Life, what's going on? Says that's why cornerback is not a need. Rodgers, Ringo, Ricks. And Hall and Matt. Yeah, it's hard for me to say that they don't need a corner. I don't think they have an inside guy right now. We'll see. Ringo's not moving to the inside. Eli Ricks is not moving to the inside. Isaiah Rodgers potentially could, move to the inside, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, the Matt Corral jerseys are coming back, dude. They're coming back. I mean, I don't, you know. Philly says we're wearing them, so we're wearing them. I don't think it's set in stone yet. I think they like the cornerback room a lot. The draft is going to tell us where they think they're at cornerback right now. Cooper DeJean is different. Yeah, they might not go outside corner, theoretically, yes. But when it comes to Cooper DeJean, you're not looking at him as the outside corner. You're looking at him as a weapon for your defense, a hybrid type player that moves around at multiple positions. That's why they value him so much. That's why he's a early pre-draft visit. He was the second visit? He was very early. Always I have a bad feeling we're drafting the defensive end. Oh, Latu. Yeah. He came off medically retired. Played after he was medically retired. Came back. There's a durability issue with him. Statistically, he's great. I mean, 13 sacks last year. Great. He's finessed enough with his athleticism that he could play in coverage as well. You know, I'm more on the Jared Verse train because I think he's the best pass rusher in this draft. I think he's a monster. I think he's got the best bull rush. I think he's got the best motor. I think he's just I don't know. The man just never stops. Edmund Miller says Commanders might have the same issue with Dallas last year. Dan Quinn likes small linebackers, so run defense might be their issue as well. Julian says, Joey, who's your number one guy in this draft that you really, really want? I don't really have that number one guy I want. This is a different draft for me. It's not that draft where we had last year where it was Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, then Bijan Robinson. It's not the same. This year is totally different because I like a lot of guys, and I think there's a combination of a lot of guys I do want because I think not only the first round, the second round the Eagles have two picks at 50 and 53. The second round has a lot of value in it, like a lot of value. So there's at least 40 potential Pro Bowlers in this draft. We just need a couple. All right, let's just try to get 3 if we can. Kelly Green Batman says Cooper DeJean would be the top pick. I think from a standpoint of the Eagles, I think that's who they want. I think Cooper DeJean is who they really want. I think that's the guy they Yeah, he's a pure edge rusher. I'm speaking towards what he is out of all the edge rushers. Like as an edge rusher, he's the best edge rusher. Scheme fit, it's Dallas Turner and Latu. Dallas Turner, I would, if it's not Jared Verse, I'd go Dallas Turner in a heartbeat. GP Rock says Fletcher and Reddick are gone. Massive hole to fill. Yeah, I mean depth. Yeah, I wouldn't see that. I think they're going to get another defensive tackle later in the mid round. I don't know. There's only so much you could do in one draft. Only so much you could do. But we'll see. All the guys I really want in the second round. I think offensive line, safety, linebacker. I think you're set in the second round. RPF, what's going on, dude? Say, hey, Joey, how you doing? I never would have thought that the Eagles are playing a regular season game in Brazil. Yeah, I'm pissed. I hate it. I like it because it's a Friday night game and we don't have to go to work the next day, which is good. We're the second game of the season, which is great. But I hate that it counts as a home game for the Eagles. So that's like our home opener. Kind of sucks. We'll still have our home opener anyway. But still, like, yeah. I mean, at least put them against a shitty team, or, I mean, they could have made that Green Bay Eagles game a little bit. They could have made it on like a prime time, or they could have done something better with it. Yeah, this is a make or break year for Jordan Davis, no doubt. It sucks because what if he plays really well this year, and then he has another year with the Eagles and doesn't play well? You know what I mean? That's what sucks. I think Latu is the best. He's got moves on top of the moves. Yeah, Latu is good, man. I mean, Latu has got a great bend around the edge, really, really nice. But it's just now the Eagles. Apparently, the Eagles have brought in Latu. So let's see, edge rusher wise, who have they brought in? Top candidates, obviously. They brought in Latu for pre-draft, and Chop Robinson. Those are the two. Yeah, Braswell's a huge scheme fit as well. Second round. Braswell's a huge scheme. If they miss in the first, and like I said, do you want to go linebacker in the second round? Like I said, what do you think of Kool-Aid? Worry about his foot injury though? Nah, he's fine. He's fine. He had a Jones fracture in his pinky toe of his foot or something like that. He just hasn't played much inside. Like, that's what I don't get with, like, bringing him in just due diligence, like they're just doing it just to do it. Like, they might have interest because they like him as a player, but does he fit what we're doing? I mean, it's not that he doesn't fit what we're doing. It's the problem is that the spots are filled. Like, they're not going to put him on the inside, are they? To me, it makes no sense. Lucius the Show says, Joey, you heard it here first. Screenshot this. Once Rodgers is reinstated, the Eagles will post you and cut Bradbury. It's really, why would they do that to him though? There's no way that they're figuring out this whole time, like, that they're finally going to say, you know what? I think we're going to get rid of Bradbury now. They could have got rid of Maddox for $7.1 million. They could have got $7.1 million back on a post-June cut. And they didn't. They cut him and they got $2 million back because they gave him the respect to go out and search for teams. To cut Bradbury late in the process where he might not even get a starting job anywhere else is kind of a shitty thing. But it just makes no sense to me. I think if they were to cut Bradbury, it would have already happened. But hey, you know what? I'll screenshot it. Why not? I'll screenshot it. Here, let me show you. There you go. Screenshot it. I'll make sure to put that up. If you're right. If you're right. Roses can't fill the hole on the roster this year. I think the biggest thing that help Hurts return form, so get offensive line help and legit third wide receiver. Defense is 2-3 year fix, but I don't think it's a 2-3 year fix. I think if the defense just has to make stops on third down, they just have to play average to above average, and they're fine. How many average defenses play in the Super Bowl? A lot of them do. How many high-powered offenses play in the Super Bowl? A lot of them do. That's how they get to the Super Bowl. It's an offensive-driven league. You don't need to have the top 3 defense in the league. Okay, top 10, sure. Top 3, you don't need to have that. Don't. Okay? Take it from 22. That defense could have been generational, but because of coaching and bullshit, yeah. What happens? Diego says, I don't mind Brazil. They have 9 home games. I get it. It's the first time we're laying eyes on the team for the first time, and you want to see that at home or see that somewhere else, you know. I'm scared of that game. He says, how he got going to draft an O-line first round. Hey, could be. Let's see. Kelly says, see, Miles Sanders yesterday was a Penn State's blue and white game. Yeah, I heard he was at the Penn State game. on Twitter the other day. Actually, I think Howie's going to draft the right offensive tackle because Lane is getting older. Yeah, he'll draft one, but not the first round. I mean, not the first round. If you're drafting somebody in the first round, they're playing center or guard. You're drafting somebody in the second round, they're going to play guard and switch to tackle, unless it's going to be, you get JC Latham. He can start at guard right now. You could put him at right tackle, and he'll be a star. Miami Answer Shakes. I just want to let you know that I do love yours 500 channels. Thank you for doing all you do. Opinions are wild, but that's smart conversation, and those are great to have at the end. Oh no, I agree. I say that a million times. Like, if we all agree on the same shit all the time, it gets really boring. Okay, that's what it's all about. It's all of us having different opinions. So no, like if I rant about something, it's not towards you. It's not. It's just like if somebody says something, I say, hey, I might think that's totally ridiculous. But it doesn't mean like it's not a bad take or anything like that, because anything can happen in the league. So Michael, you're good, Mike. Appreciate the support, man. And I'm sure Philly 500 would appreciate the support as well. He says can't go wrong with the first 3 picks, as long as linebacker Cooper is one of those picks, dude. I think he's a must. This is enough of the international games. Oh, they're not going to stop the international games because there's people in other countries that really want to see football. And there's a lot of fans out there. There's a market. There is a market out there. 100% there's a market out there. They're going to fill. You don't think they're going to fill the stands? They're going to fill the stands. It's more money they're going to make. The NFL is making a lot of money from that. They have a deal in Brazil. Like, I don't know how it goes, but there's contracts involved where the NFL is making a lot of money because. Chris Goldberg says people aren't discussing our special teams enough, which is one of the lone bright spots last year. I think the only bright spot. And is really good, and a Covey takes place next step to make our offense so much more exposed. Yeah, I mean, Rick Lovato is re-signed as your long snapper. You re-signed Braden Mann. Thank God he punted so well. So well. Inside the 10, he did fantastic last year. I was really, you got Braden Mann a contract. You extended Jake Elliott, which is great. He is, I think, tied for the highest paid in kickers with Justin Tucker, which Justin Tucker is the best kicker out there. And it looks like he's, Jake Elliott is becoming Justin Tucker's status. Look what he did last year. I think the biggest kick he had last year was that, what was it, the 59, what was it, the 60-yard, the 59-yarder in the rain against Buffalo, that overtime, what was it, not the overtime, that was the one to tie the game, I think? It was the one to tie the game for overtime in heavy rain. I mean, that kick last year was just amazing. But yeah, Aaron Suppose's trick. You all know that. Dangler Barrow says, my grandma passed Wednesday. Glad she got to see me at my happiest when the Eagles won. Wow. Well, I'm sorry. That really sucks, dude. I trust me. I miss my grandparents. My grandparents haven't been around for years. But hey, man, at least you got to see that and got to see you smile and be happy about it. I think everybody was really happy about it, obviously. So, but good memories, man. Memories is all that matters, dude. End of the day, all about the good times, good memories. Provo says the thing about the foreign countries is that often the fields aren't the NFL shape, especially if the first game. The NFL doesn't care about MetLife's field. It won't care about Brazil. Hope that's not the case. Franks, I like how he did trade either the 2 second rounders for a late first rounder or a second rounder at number 22 pick for an earlier first round. Yeah, I mean, look, if they want to move up, from the second round, like if they're able to get 2 first round picks, I mean, that's great. Move in the first round again, another top talent, sure. But then you have to realize, like, is there somebody else they really want in the first round, or do they feel like they need something else in the second round? Once the first round best player available, second round, then you could really put your focus more towards a need by that point. So hopefully Eagles and Packers players will suffer torn ACLs and other injuries in Brazil. Field isn't for ready football for soccer. Oh, Frank says them 2 second rounders open a lot of doors. Oh, draw a trade door. Oh yes, 100% it does. Oh yeah, 50 and 53, dude. They open a hell of a lot, no doubt. Hell of a lot. So, how much time I have on here? All right. So we're gonna go for another another couple minutes, and then we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have videos, memberships, all that stuff out tomorrow. I have a membership video coming out today. If you guys haven't joined, the memberships are in the pinned comment in the description below. Click on the link for extra content. I do draft highlight reactions and things like that of different players, and we just kind of go through a little bit of tape. I do my own tape and stuff on some other apps that I use. But these are just extra videos. Extra content is there for you guys if you want it. If you want to join up, any tier doesn't matter. You get all the content right there, and there's a lot of it up. So a lot of videos are up now. So we'll go for another couple minutes, and then we'll end the day. I don't want to waste everybody's day on this Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's already 10 after 3 right now. Evans, I can see a huge trade coming and making a huge splash in the draft, meaning trading it for any player. It's going to be AJ Brown-esque, probably not, but who knows? You never know how he's cooking with other teams to get a specific player in Philadelphia. No. It wouldn't shock me. Virgil said Howie's history of drafting around 22 isn't very good, so he should either move up or be out of there. I think, out of the 5 years, he traded up 4 times. So. And he said Brian Thomas. Did I upload that? Hold on. Oh damn, you're good, because I thought I uploaded it, but no, it is. Yeah, the membership video today is Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. Yeah, it is. Wow, holy shit! Good guess. I thought maybe I uploaded it. Maybe I uploaded it and didn't realize I uploaded it. But hey. I said Joey Ania Smith is real jukey like McConaughey. Yeah, where's he gonna go? I know the Eagles brought him in for a pre-draft visit. Where is he supposed to be? Like a 3rd round pick this year? Was he supposed to be to a late 2nd to a 3rd round pick this year? Yeah, they brought him in. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. Pretty fast. He's quick though. Yeah, I'm looking. Hendrick says, "Are we still looking at DeGenius could be a Jenkins type player?" Yes, that's. We're not looking. We know I know he is. You know he is. Marvin said, every time I think about the Eagles playing overseas, I think of the Jaguars game in 18 in London. I guess I remember the game started 9 a.m. Philly time, just kind of as a road game. Yeah, I remember that. That was it's hard to get. That's not hard to get motivated in the morning, but that's early. Michael Meehan says, and this year won't be the same. My mom just passed away on Wednesday. It was the 7th year we lost my dad. She passed on the day we buried my dad years ago. It would be hard. Mom got me into. I'm hoping the Eagles can keep you happy this year. But yeah, it's definitely probably not the same watching the games with the people you love and have them anymore. I hope somewhat spirit-wise, they'll look down on you, and I can't imagine it being easy, because it's probably not. Everybody loses their parents. It's gonna happen to everybody. Sure they loved you very much, man, and sure they'll be looking down on you, no doubt. Me personally, anybody that has good relationships with their parents, good for you guys. Me, I haven't had good relationships with my parents for years. And it's, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Not because of it's, done a lot of stuff. My life, been crazy. you know, a long time ago. My best years weren't my teen years. My best years weren't my college years. So, if you have parents, I love you very much, man. Cherish them. Cherish them. Many wives to juggle. In dick. Yeah. Oh. Dick. Well, yeah, other than that, we'll end it on that note. And we'll be back with a stream tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, like the stream, all the same stuff. Thank you for the super chats, all the great stuff, all the support. It's great. Fantastic. And yeah, we're a week and a half away. A week and a half away, and we will be there. Matt Corral jerseys will be back. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and see you on the next one. Thanks for up, follow us live. Peace out, guys. Peace.